Foundation was started in honor of my brother, New York City firefighter Steven Siller, who on September 11, 2001, strapped 65 pounds of gear on his back and ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to the towers, where he gave up his life while saving others. Out here in the fields, I fight for my own. I keep my back into my
I just want to say special dedication to Steven Siller. He was truly a remarkable hero, and he did great things, and he risked his life for our freedom. He risked his life for the Twin Towers, and he risked his life to save someone else's. Today I went to a 9/11 memorial tribute thing, and it was basically a pop-out semi that had, or a trailer, I should say, that had numerous artifacts and pictures and different things talking about 9/11, and it was very, very influential and very important in my life, and I think it'd be one of the most influential things of my life. It reminds me of the days of 9/11. It brings me right back to the day. The people who were talking were great public speakers, and they were people from 9/11. They were actual firefighters who were rescuers during the 9/11 attacks in New York City on the Twin Towers. They discussed the events and as they unraveled, and they discussed the things that they personally seen, and it really touched my heart and really meant a lot to me to hear their stories and hear how the rubble and how the towers disintegrated in front of them, and how they found body parts and they found numerous things that I shouldn't really talk about, and it just really changed my life, and it changed my perspective on 9/11. Before, I was so adamant about finding who's guilty about 9/11 because I knew Osama bin Laden wasn't the true leader of the attacks. I knew that the true leader was the Rothschild family, the Rockefeller family, the Morgan family, George Bush, and several other people. But it definitely wasn't bin Laden. Bin Laden used to be friends with the Bush family, and George Bush used to stay at the bin Laden house or palace when his father was in office. So they were buddies, and I think Osama bin Laden turned on Bush and was going to tell people the truth, and he became a target. But besides all that, get back to the subject, talk about a tribute to 9/11. This 9/11 tribute, the Tunnels to Tower Foundation, is truly amazing, and I want everyone to look it up, or everyone to understand how important the Tunnels to Tower Foundation is for our community and for the victims of 9/11, because they really do a lot for the people who have suffered and who have died and their families. Some of the people who have died in the attacks, they helped their spouses pay their homes off. They put their kids through college. They've really impacted their lives, and they've made a great change to humanity. They've benefited people who have been to war and lost limbs, like these people right here. They buy them smart homes, and they create smart homes for people who are in wheelchairs and who aren't accessible to normal life standards like we are. This organization is very good, and I believe that everyone should be a part of it, and everyone should go back and remember 9/11, especially the youth, because if you weren't alive during this time, you definitely need to be influenced by it, because you need to realize how influential it was in our lives. As elders, we need to set an example and let the youth know how important and how collaborative 9/11 truly was for America and the world. 9/11 united us. It broke us and tore us apart for a while, but it united us as a whole and made us so much better. If you look at this picture right here, this is kind of what the Tunnels to Towers Foundation, the 9/11 Never Forget display was that I went to today. Right here, you can kind of see how it is, and
Just saw the explosion happen. We're heading in that direction.
There has been a plane crash.
the semi or the RV, I guess you'd say, with the pop-out doors, and there's just all these different artifacts and pictures and stories and details about 9/11, about people's personal lives, and parts of the 9/11 towers, the steel, the aluminum, the things that you're not going to see unless you go to New York City and actually witness it. We're in Clinton, Iowa, and they came to our city, to the Wild Rose Casino, and put on a free show for us. This was absolutely free. They didn't ask us for nothing. I'm sure the casino paid a hefty amount for them to come, probably $5,000 or $10,000 at minimum. But that's, at the very least, what they deserve. They deserve everything. They deserve our respect, and they deserve our welcoming, and they deserve much more gratitude than they receive. I believe anybody who tributes to 9/11 is a great American hero and a great American in general. I think anybody who goes back to 9/11 and discusses 9/11 and realizes that we need to teach our youth about 9/11 and teach them how to learn from our mistakes in 9/11 and how to be more preventative for things like that happening in the future. Because like the guy at the display said today, he said, if you don't discuss history, history will repeat itself. And as most of you know, history does repeat itself. It tends to repeat itself. And I think we can all learn something from that. If we don't discuss history, history will repeat itself. Think about that for a second. If we don't discuss war, and we don't discuss terrorism, and we don't discuss acts of heroism, or we don't discuss, collaboration, and we don't discuss how we made it through a terrible event, then how are we going to plan for the next one, or how are we going to be able to accept the next thing that happens? Because something will happen, whether or not it's this magnitude or not. Something will happen in this world, and it will be negative again, and we just need to be prepared for it mentally and physically. We need to be able to act as soon as possible, and we need to be able to prevent things like this with red flags, and we need to be able to do as much as we can. And by doing the most we can, I think that we need to talk about it at the very least, especially to our youth, especially to our children, especially to our family, our friends. We need to remember 9/11. Take a time every year, especially around that time, September 11th, and just reminisce on, where you were at and what you were thinking and what happened in your life when you seen the first tower get hit or when you heard the towers were struck. I advise everyone to check out the Tunnels to Towers Foundation 9/11 Never Forget exhibit. If you're in Clinton, Iowa, it's going on June 2nd and June 3rd at the Wild Rose Casino on Mill Creek Parkway. It's a very great exhibit, and there's some great people there, some great firefighters who've really put their neck on the line and have dedicated their life to public speaking to people about their stories and about their foundation and some of the things they've experienced, and just truly remarkable stories. And like I said, it'll stick with me for a lifetime. So I just want to thank them very much, first and foremost. But what I'm trying to get off of this message and what I'm trying to present in this video to my audience is that 9/11 did happen, and 9/11 was a big part and one of the most influential parts of my life. It changed my life 100%. It made me not trust the government. It made me not believe in reality. It made me question everything that I see and everything that I've ever been told. it almost forced me into the psych ward the first time. And in fact, it did force me into the psych ward after some time of investigation, trying to figure out who was responsible. I was that committed to who was guilty. You know, I was so stuck and focused on who was responsible. I just wanted answers or retribution for those who died and those who were affected by 9/11. Not only the family members, but the friends, the people who just committed their time and effort to helping out in any way they can. The policemen, the firefighters, the regular civilians, everybody who chipped in and everybody who did their part. I thank you very much, and I think the world thanks you, especially America, especially New York City, and especially Clinton, Iowa. We thank you very much. So check out this foundation, check out the exhibit. If you can, donate, because it's going to money is going to some great causes. 95% goes to military and firefighters' families of people who've died, since 9/11 or because of 9/11, because they have cancer from digging through the rubble, or because they have different problems or ailments in their life. But it mainly helps firefighters and military, who have been injured or who have died, and it helps their families, and it helps their children, and it helps, our community and our society as a whole. It helps humanity. So if you're looking for a good charity, if you're looking for a good cause, this is definitely one of those that you should question, putting your money into. So, usually I talk about on this channel, I discuss my hatred towards the billionaires and the 1%. And in this video, I want to do the same thing, because I hate them. I hate the people in power, because I know that they're the ones responsible for this attack. But I got to think small, and I got to think about the little guys and the people who were affected, and the 3,000 lives that were lost. And I got to think about their family and their friends and all their loved ones, and their community as a whole, because they can't do nothing about the attacks. I can't do nothing about the attacks. We can't do nothing about the war. We can't stop it. We have to live it. We're living in the moment. We have to deal with it. So the only way to deal with it is to talk about it and, collaborate our thoughts and our ideas to achieve something better. So I hope you all understand the message that I'm trying to bring in this video. Check out the foundation, check out the exhibit. Remember 9/11, never forget 9/11. And always remember to speak to the youth and influence the youth about 9/11, because it was perhaps the most devastating event of our lives, and one of the most courageous moments of our lives. And we have to embrace that, and we have to let our children know the hardships and the things that we overcame on 9/11 as a country and as a whole. I hope you all have a very blessed day. I hope you all end up having a day like I did. I had a great day today. I became a trillionaire. Yeah, that's right. Finally hit the trillionaire mark. I'm only 28 years old, so hallelujah. I won a weekly winner of my local family video. I became the weekly winner somehow. They called me out of the blue today and said, hey, you're our winner this week. Come down and grab a free movie and you get half off of any movie for 2 weeks. I went to this exhibit with my mom. It was free. It was amazing. And I've just had a great day. So I hope you enjoy your day as well. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you remember something from this video. And I hope this video can impact your life the way that those people from this exhibit and the people that I talked to today, people that talked to me, changed my life. I hope I leave a positive message to you, and I hope that you can embrace the message that I've left behind. Like I said, have a blessed day. Give your loved ones an extra hug tonight and a kiss. Don't forget to tell them you love them. And be thankful for what you have, and be thankful for what you're given on a daily basis, because it could be torn away in a heartbeat. So respect everything that's happened about 9/11. Respect all the people who embrace 9/11 and remember 9/11 and want to be a part of keeping on the memory of 9/11 and keeping on the memory of those who lost their lives. So much respect to everyone who lost their lives on 9/11, from all the planes, from all their family members, to all their community, to all the firefighters, to all the police department, to all the civilians who were affected, to everyone in America. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that this never happens again. I hope that we never have to face anything like this ever again. And I hope if something like this does ever happen, that we're prepared for it, just like we were on 9/11, and we can collaborate and figure out who's truly responsible this time. And maybe we could get some retribution for those family members and those people who truly deserve it. This isn't a retribution video, this is a remembrance video. So just remember, reflect, and love. Have a blessed day. This is your President Trillionaire. Thank you for watching.